Today we're going to take a tree that came down in my yard and we're going to take part of that and we're going to turn it into one of these. A live edge resin river go rack. I took a log from the yard. Normally I would cut this into firewood, but instead I decided to cut it open to see what I would find. Big surprise, I found wood. I put them in an old glass kiln that we have in our basement at 150 degrees for a couple of days until the moisture content was workable. Then I took 2x4s and I wrapped them with Tyvek tape and made a mold to cast in. Off camera, I picked the plank that I liked the best and I cut it in half and put the two living edges facing each other. And then screwing it together to form an open box. I mixed up some resin, added some blue alcohol ink as dye, and poured it as a resin river between the two living edges. And then I took apart the mold and broke the cast plank out using a chisel, a scraper, and a hammer. Next time I'm putting less screws in this thing. I sliced the back of it off with the bandsaw to eliminate the part that spilled over. And then I trimmed the face so that there would be less to take off in the planer. I trimmed the edges on the bandsaw.
All right, let's do it.
And then it was time to save. I started with an 80 grit on my random orbital sander and then went to a 220. Cleaned the surface with some paint thinner and then applied a nice liberal coat of walnut oil to darken the maple. The screws that came with the hangers were a little bit too long, so I needed to use some half-inch screws so that they wouldn't poke out the back of the coat hanger. So I mixed up some epoxy and just used the screws to hold the hangers in place while the epoxy set up. That way if someone puts a heavy bag on it, I won't need to worry about the hangers ripping off the face. I applied some flush mount hangers to the corners, and then it was ready to use.
We'll be posting more content regularly, so click subscribe.